Hey, peace and blessings, family. Welcome to this special edition. This is a red alert edition. Blah, what's going on with me? It's nighttime. This is red alert. So I don't know about y'all. We from back in the day when somebody said red alert, that meant something was happening big and we need to stop and pay attention. How you doing,
Our
Sister Khadijah?
life.
Thank you for joining me.
Of course, I'm good. I'm good. Ready to get into this red alert.
Okay, so
Hoping we
what
don't
I
have to
want
throw the cap up.
say it again.
Hoping we don't have to throw the cap up.
Now that's real talk, Khadijah. That's real talk. Let me pull this up right here. So I received this today. You received this today. You want to read it, Khadijah?
Let me go to my phone and read it. That's print is too small for me to read from here.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't do that. I ain't got no super eyes.
So while you looking for it, back in the day in hip hop culture, when you said red alert, that means like DJ red alert. But usually when you say red alert, that means to pay attention, to stop whatever you're doing and give it your undivided attention. It also means urgency, hence the color red.
Hmm.
And so anybody know Dr. Flo? I've known her for years. She's an awesome woman, one of the nicest women that I know, and she's one of the fairest women that I know. Fairest
I
in
got it.
behavior, you know. Go ahead, Khadijah.
Hmm. I got it. Red alert. Our People Empowered campaign is under attack. The good old boys in Sacramento's political establishment are terrified of our monumental momentum and our message. Now they're trying to bully us with a costly, frivolous lawsuit. I fight for working families against the status quo that fuels our housing crisis, and we won't be bullied. Hardworking people from across our communities are joining this campaign because they believe more is possible. But corporate elites want to tamp down our fire. They're suing us to silence you. This is all hands on deck, y'all. We need you more than ever to fund our legal fight and to build a city where all families can thrive. Donate now. Flowformayor.com/donate. Dr. Flo Kofer, Sacramento Mayor. So
All
give
right.
people a little bit of background for those that don't know.
Okay, so Dr. Flo is one of our, I mean, she's incredible. This is a woman who, seriously, like she's impacted my life a lot. But this is a woman who, the way she broke down Darth Vader to me, helped me to understand trauma. She took something that all of us knew. Everybody likes Star Wars, and we know who
Hmm.
Darth Vader is. But she was talking about basically those what do you call those ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and how they impact you as an adult. So she's one of those people. She tries to be very fair. What I like about her is that she works with everybody. It doesn't matter what um, your ethnicity is. It doesn't matter what level of education you have. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. She's pretty fair. And so when she said she was running for city council, of course, I mean running for mayor, excuse me, I immediately wanted to support her because I feel like Black women like her don't
Hmm.
necessarily always get the backing because she doesn't belong to any cliques or anything like that. So, and we've been in some things together where she was like, "Well, I'll go talk to the person." Where everybody else was like wanting to throw the brothers out. She was like, "I'll go
Hmm.
talk to him." Now, how many people do that? If they ain't in there, like, girl, I don't know. But she was like, "I'll go talk to him." And I think I went with her to two of the meetings out of the three. But she's
Hmm.
really a builder, and of course, she's originally from my home state, Pennsylvania. I just really love Dr. Flo, and I don't like what I'm seeing because I feel like this reminds me of, I want to remember this man's name if I forget, when Frederick Douglass started speaking up against slavery, and then there was a white man
Hmm.
who's also a so-called abolitionist who basically was also doing the same thing, but he did not like the fact when Frederick Douglass was on the same even playing field as him. He was like, I don't want you to be my equal. I just don't want to see you be a slave. And I said,
Hmm.
now that's some shit. Because I feel like a lot of people feel that way about Black people in general, whether if you educated or not, or whatever the hell that means. But I feel like what's happening with Dr. Flo is a good example of this, because what I also know, and this is not against all white people, so please take the all out your ass. We know that there's a segment of white people who do not want to see a Black woman with this kind of power. They don't want to see a Black woman be mayor. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's your friends sitting next to you who say, I don't want you to be a slave, but you're not, I don't want you to be my equal.
You're absolutely correct.
So
You're absolutely correct.
yeah.
And I
So,
think this is a wake up call for all of us because Dr. Flo is overly qualified to be mayor of Sacramento, you know. And so this just to show goes to show you that the good old boys want to keep the good old boys in power, and the good old boys don't think a nigga should ever step up and try to be on the same playing field as them. So they're trying to silence her. Now, what's the thing about um, what are they accusing her of?
well, from what I heard, is that they try to say she
Or,
in a certain time period, I believe that maybe she raised too much money or some bullshit like that. It's some kind of bullshit. And the man that's leading it, I don't have the information on the person in front of me. So if you know, if I did, I would definitely say, but this is the alleged person or whatever the hell we gotta say to be correct in these internet streets. But
Mhm.
I just feel like we knew this was coming. And I think this is the first of many attacks. But the truth of it is, Khadijah, I'm dying to see what our community response is, because if this was a white cop who shot somebody, we'd probably be all downtown up on the Capitol roof and every damn thing else. We should be in the street for this.
Absolutely.
See, we
This one
should
you're
be.
supposed to surround City Hall. This one you're supposed to
Yeah,
be at the Capitol. This is
right.
the one you're supposed to be protesting. We're supposed to shut down freeways. It's
Yeah,
times like this when that is prevalent.
that's my
Not
point.
just a police shooting. Right now, this sister needs our support and our backup. And she's putting her life on the line because people get assassinated sometimes when they're trying to move into a different element. So we don't know what we just know what they're doing publicly. We don't know what the hell they're doing to her privately. We don't know what inboxes she getting. We don't know anything. So this is a time for
Oh,
us to really be um backing her up and seeing what we could do.
oh.
We have a few comments. What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
you got all of a sudden we got comments.
Okay, girl. Yeah, you look like I don't know what the hell was. Okay,
I
Kelly
can't.
Cooper says, "Oh well, it's too bad because she's going to win, and these white folks is mad because they see the true, dignified, smart African American woman." Now, what's the thing about? But don't downplay us like we're ignorant, and you're the one that you guys try to impose and look like and be like it's from our ancestors, not there.
That's right.
I agree.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a special edition, Tasha. We just have some people tuning in. We got Tasha on, Kavisha, Kelly Cooper, Leona.
Hey,
So we have a black woman who is running for the mayor of Sacramento,
I'll put her back
and
up.
we have the good old boys who are trying to ask her to step out of the running for, trying to force her out of the running for mayor. So we had a red alert out. You want to put that flyer back up? We had a red
I'll put
alert
it back
out
up.
because she needs the support of the black community and people who stand for a good life and good living. So these is where all of your what you call those people, your allies come in, because not just black people, yeah, all these so-called allies that we have, they all should
People
be
of
be
color.
stepping up to support her as well.
That's
Of
right.
color,
That's
these
right.
people of color. This is a person of color, according to y'all definition. So she definitely, yeah, Dr. Flotasha. So we definitely need to be, but this is I'm gonna go back to it one more time and read it to you guys again. For those that are just tuning in, because I know that print is pretty small. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're trying to force this sister out of they didn't think they probably were surprised that the black woman had this much support and was able to get the financial backing to run a successful campaign. And so that's probably shocking a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So usually we have to beg for things and people believe in her and she was supported. Now they're asking,
Mm-hmm.
to support her legal, her legal um campaign. So red alert, our people power campaign is under attack. The good old boys in Sacramento political establishment are terrified of our momentum and our message. Now they're trying to bully us with a costly, frivolous lawsuit. This is Dr. Flo's works. I fight for working families against the status quo that fuels our housing crisis, and we won't be bullied. Hardworking people from across our communities are joining this campaign because they believe more is possible. But corporate elites want to tamp down our fire. They're suing us to silence you.
Mm.
Y'all get that? They're suing her, suing us, the campaign, to silence us, the community, because
The
they know
people
that
who
will be a
backing her.
black voice in a position of power. So they do not want her to. If they silence her, they silence the black voice at this point. Because are there any other African Americans running for mayor?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. So silencing Dr. Flo is a big blow. So we have to make sure we're doing the necessary steps to support this sister and definitely. And I know there is it might be too much to put up, but there is a action challenge
I'm gonna put
to
it up.
everyone. I don't know if you can put half of it. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up, sissy. Hold on. You know me. I'm over here doing engineer
And
work.
then
Now
that
hold
go
on.
ahead, no worries. And in that action challenge, they are while she's pulling up, I'll go to some of the things.
Okay.
One, stand in solidarity and make a public statement in support of Flo Jane Cofer for mayor of Sacramento. Two, make a reoccurring donation to her campaign. It costs a pretty penny to effectively change the narrative and political landscape we all deserve. Now I know people get nervous when they say donate, but any amount would help. Any amount would help. So they're not telling actually to give thousands. Some of us spend 60, $70 on our nails every 2 weeks. So we could just commit that to Dr. Flo. You'd be surprised what could happen. The third one, they are share and tag, especially with those who are the usual suspects playing on the political playground with our lives. Ask them to publicly say this frivolous lawsuit is not okay. Then they have a bonus challenge. Let's see if we can get 13 individuals, 13 individual men to defend this black woman. Let's change the narrative.
Now let's go over those points again. What the challenge is. Let's do that
Mhm.
challenge again. I'm sorry, I was trying to engineer and get my stuff
No
right.
worries, you
The
good.
first one says to stand in solidarity, make a public statement in support of Dr. Flo for mayor. I have done that. I'll do it. I'll do it 1,000 times. I, Rolanda
Hmm.
Wilkins, I stand with Dr. Flo for mayor. We need this change in the city of Sacramento. We have had
Hmm.
men run this city, and it's time for the woman to step in. It's time for a black woman to step in, because we know when
Say that.
black women step in, things get done. So y'all,
Real talk.
it's okay for her to be mayor. She don't have to always be. She was on all kind of committees in this city, so she's good to give her free time in a committee, but not good enough to be the mayor. Black women, all of us should stand up. All of us should make a
Hmm.
statement and support Dr. Flo, because she's in the right flow right now. We got to
Say that.
flow with
That
her.
part.
Yeah, we got to flow
Real
with her.
talk.
So I don't know about you. How you feel about that number one, Khadijah?
I think that's a great thing because sometimes when people think you by yourself, they tend to bother you. You tend to get fucked with. A bully will pick with you. They think you ain't got no backup and no family. So right now they picking with Dr. Flo. They don't think she got no backup and no family. So I think that's an awesome number one. I think that's great to start with. They got
Right
to
on.
show that she got support out here and it's not going to be tolerated.
And I also challenge black women to stand. We need to do a press conference about this. If we can get a whole bunch of
Absolutely.
black women to stand together and be like, Earth Mama Healing, Our Rightful Place, or whoever, and be like, we are as black women organization, because y'all, this is really an attack on us. See, people
That's
think we're good
absolutely
enough to
right.
mop the floor, but not to run the house, like be the boss of it. And so I think we gotta, like, this is not the time to be like, well, look, this is all about you. This is about your daughters. This is about your granddaughters. We're setting the stage
Hmm.
for what will be possible for them.
Hmm.
We've already had a black man be mayor. I thought he did a real shitty job, my personal opinion. Right? So I feel like we got to stand with her. And I'm down with anybody who wants to do a press conference where we all stand together and say that we are behind Dr. Flo and stop this fucking madness from this is a good old boy. When we say good old boys, we're talking about white men. Okay,
Kavisha
not all of
says we
them.
have to She says we have to show them she's unfuckwithable, and I'm with you on that. Like, leave her alone. I'm
Right
all the
on.
way. Peace,
Right on.
Tina McLean. How are you? But yeah, this is something, y'all. This is a call to action. Seriously, it's
Yeah.
it's a call to action because right now all of our the future of a lot of our the future of our communities depend on this. Futures of ours.
Yeah.
You see, she's talking about the homeless crisis and housing. You know what I mean? Like that's a major issue. That's affecting Black women and children here in Sacramento.
40% of the homeless in Sacramento are black women with children. 40%.
Mhm. And I know some of us are very comfortable in our nice homes and we don't have to worry about that, but it's a thin line between homelessness and homes. It's a very
Mm,
thin line. People could be out of work tomorrow. You could be injured in your job. Anything could happen where you don't
that's real
have
talk.
your sanctuary in your home. So that anybody could be in that number at
That's
any
right.
time. So this
Right
is
on, sis.
major. This is
Yes,
major.
it
And it's
is.
the call to action has to happen.
Right on. The next one said make a reoccurring donation to her campaign. It's pretty costly. I'm definitely doing that. Been doing that. I feel like, and
Yeah.
this is something we got to get over as black people. Money makes things run. Okay. Money makes things run. We'll talk about all the other groups. All the other groups put in money. We want freedom and
And all
justice
the
and equality. That's cost. It's like fame. You want fame? It's cost with sweat, and they need to add and money. So we got to make sure she has enough money to fight this beast. You know what I
hmm
mean?
And
And it
it's
don't
a
have
big
to be a
beast to
lot.
fight because I'm gonna tell you, beasts they almost like the transfer. What's the little it's a y'all said what's the superhero when he break away with the rocks and then he come back together? He hella big and I don't know his name, but that's what the communities are like. The white people they come together and build this big ass monster to come fight her when we got her out there fighting by herself. They all support the even the good old boy, even y'all good, like I said, the good coworkers, y'all neighbors, the kids' parents who want to team, who want team with your children. All of them secretly support this shit because they want to continue to uplift white supremacy and white status quo. That's
Say that,
period.
Khadijah. Say it. And
So
I gotta find
all
this
of you guys
man's
that have
name.
these white allies and everybody, call on them to support too. Let's
That's
see
right.
what happens. We're the
And Dr.
Mexican
Flo's been
community.
standing with them too. So now it's time. Not saying that they're not standing with her. I'm just saying they got to increase it. Like now they have to
And
go back
standing
into
with her
their base.
publicly,
Yeah.
standing with her
I mean, they
publicly.
do. But
All of
look,
your, all of your. I'm saying that more people need to stand with her public. I'm not
yes.
saying they don't,
And they need
but
to
I'm
go
saying
into their
more
communities
people
and
need to.
make their people stand.
Exactly,
That's what I'm trying to
exactly.
say. I'm with you, Khadijah. I'm
Yep,
with you, sis. I'm with you. I'm
yep.
so with you. The next one says share a tag, especially those who are usually suspect playing on the political playground with our lives, and ask them to publicly say something about this frivolous lawsuit. It's not okay. And I think it's enough. Here's what I do know, y'all. And I hope y'all learned this from when y'all did y'all little protesting in the street, is that there is power in numbers. If all of us is yelling,
Hell yeah.
they're gonna have to get up and do something. They're
They
used
don't
to
have
us
to hear.
yelling for they're used to us yelling for like 2 weeks, and then we go back to sleep for 60 months or some shit like that.
Or they used to us yelling until they throw out a little 20, 30,000 to the people that's out there making all the noise, and the problem never gets solved. They just give them
That
hush
too.
money. Now let's be
That's
honest,
true.
and I think that's what they're talking about. It is the same usual ones that play on the political playground. Get your
Yeah,
ass up and say something, because y'all
yeah.
say something about everything else. Get your ass out, be vocal, and stand behind Dr. Flo. Because
Now
y'all
this
stand behind y'all stand behind all kind of bullshit. This is
yes,
some
we
real
do.
stuff that we need to stand behind. So while y'all in the political playground doing all the political work, get behind this sister.
So I want to thank Kelly Cooper for basically tagging all her people up on this thing. Thank you so much,
Yes,
sis.
ma'am.
Like we need to, and you know what we do? We want to hear from y'all. If y'all want to say, hey, y'all want to come on here, we do some more special red alerts and bring you on here, and you get to say you stand with her and charge up your people. As a people, we just gotta continue to do, because some of us are doing the best job we can, but continue to
Hmm.
charge us up, because y'all, Dr. Flo right now is a symbolism for all of us.
Absolutely.
I'm saying right now, we see that little sister Coco win that Grand Slam. You know why she was able to do that? Because Serena and Venus was there first.
Say that
And
again.
to her eyes, I think they were
Tasha
the
said
first
this.
ones. Yes.
Tasha, this is the time to show Black power. You absolutely
There
correct,
you
correct,
go,
Tasha.
sis. And thank
This is
you,
the
sister,
time.
for
And I
tagging
want
all
to
your people.
Yep. And Sonia, oh, I can't think of your last name, but thank you for tagging me on that post. This is definitely on my page.
Sonia
Spoke to her
Lewis.
earlier. Sonia Lewis, thank you. She was a scribe. She was sending out all her stuff, getting everybody on alert, did a post and did everything else. And we're gonna Sonia had a little bit more background on this situation. So hopefully we can get her in here on Sunday to come up and because she's ready to be vocal and voice her opinion.
Right on.
So
Right on.
and voice her support of Dr. Flo.
Right
So
on.
definitely want to give Sonya a shout out.
Right on. And even if you belong to an organization, you can't pull your organization in, stand as your own person. See, we forget that you could work anywhere and still have your own person. Like you ever people
Hmm.
say, well, I'm not doing this as a director of blah blah blah. I'm doing this as a human being and as a citizen, as a mother, as a
Hmm.
father, we can still do that, because that's what it means to be human beings. You can still stand on your own self as a human being, your own merit as a person, and say, I will not go for this. You see what I'm saying? Because to me, this is not even really political the way we use. This is really the basis. This is really the foundation of America, to keep Black people at the bottom, to
Yep.
keep us in servitude.
Yep.
The last one I think is the most important, the bonus challenge. It's basically saying, let's see if we can get 13,
13.
sorry,
13.
13, I'm sorry. If we can get 13 brothers, 13 Black men, not somebody who think they emulate a Black man. Because I think it's really important to hear and there are some good brothers out there. I would love to see 13 of them together standing for Dr. Flo, for her right to be mayor. See, here's my thing.
Hmm.
You don't even really have to like Dr. Flo. Let me just back up a little bit. But what we know she deserves is her fair chance as a human being at being the mayor of Sacramento. Like
And
stand
let's
on
be
shit.
clear, how many mayors have been in and people didn't agree with all of their policies and their procedures? So let's cut the bullshit on whether
Yeah,
you like her or not. We could care less. What she stands for is something that the black community and people who are underprivileged, because it's not just black people that's going to be assisted from the things that she's trying to implement. So let's be clear on that. It's
yeah,
not just going to be us that benefits from anything that she's trying to work on. So if you are a human being with any type of empathy, you really about justice, y'all should be behind this sister, supporting her 110% and letting it be known that you are supporting her. Silent support work too. I'm sure them dollars will help out. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
But
yeah,
public acknowledgement really means a lot. When people think it's silent, they tend to do whatever. They
yeah.
tend to
They
do
think
whatever. When they
think
know people
nobody's
are looking and
watching.
watching, hmm they
And
know
let's
people
be
are looking
honest,
and watching,
Khadijah.
they
In
tend
the
to do
black,
things differently.
let's be very honest. I'm always gonna be. I think in the black community, it looks like we've been in this motherfucker snoring. Now I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
keep it
Taki said
all the
she's
way a buck.
tagging black men that she know.
But thank you, because I think brothers. Look, I think brothers want to stand up. Maybe they don't know this call went out because I'm a part of a lot of women's networks, and maybe they don't know. But I'm
Hmm.
saying, do it for your daughter, do it for your granddaughter, do it for your granddaughters you're never gonna see. You know what I'm saying?
Real
Stand
talk.
up, because the most valuable thing we have as black people is our imagery. Our imagery is the
Absolutely.
most important thing we have at this date. People see how we respond to each other. People see how we stand up for each other or the lack thereof.
Hmm.
The good old boy network don't always mean white men. Historically it
Or the
has,
hell don't.
but now we got good old black boy network who feel like maybe a black man should have that job and not a black woman, even though we doing all the goddamn work. So I'm like, no, no, boo.
Hmm.
You get to break your own cycle of whatever you created and say, you know what, as a black man who have black sisters and a black mother and maybe some black daughters or
Black
a part of a
daughters.
black
Hmm.
daughter that's half black, whatever the hell. Stand up for Dr. Flo is like standing up for her so she will have her fair shot. All she's asking is for a fair shot, a fair chance at the same job. Because I'm pretty sure if we looked at all the other track records of people who are non-melanated at this time, that they
Say
probably
that.
had some shit in their stuff that we
Say
overlook
that.
because we do that when people are less, they don't have melanin right now.
Say that part.
You feel me? And
She's
I
an
feel like Mom
educated,
Waverly's right now with these
heavily
glasses on.
melanated. She's a educated, heavily melanated person. So
Yeah,
she's a double threat.
that's real talk. That's real talk.
Let's keep it real.
Also, I'll put this out there. I think you can support Dr. Flo by coming to the 916 Flow Fest for mayor. Go to that.
Hmm.
That's on the 16th. I'm gonna slide up in there and show my support. She's
That's
having
right.
wine tasting and lounge in Del Paso Heights. And then there's you know what I mean? Like I'm sliding through show is. I'm gonna show my support
That's right.
because I feel like we will show up for bullshit, but show up for
Show up
this.
for everything
Bring
else.
your
Show up
friends,
for
bring your
everything else.
grandmama out. She ain't got to stay all night. We know old people like to go to bed early. Sometimes I'm in that
I'm
category.
one
I
of
got to
them
go to
people
bed
now.
early.
I'm about to say I'm in that category
Yeah.
myself.
So they can go to the wine tasting from 3 to 6, right? And just come
You
on
know
and then
how your
boom.
mama and your grandmama say, show up and show your face. You ain't got to
That's
stay
right.
long. Show up and show your face.
Right on, Khadijah. But I think this time people are looking at how we respond to each other. That's all I got to say. People are looking to see how are we responding to each other. And I think sometimes we forget that the world is watching
Hmm.
how we respond. One of the things I
I
will say,
agree.
the world knows that we feel like when white people do something to us in terms of like a cop killing somebody, we value that. That's why we show up in the street, whether we know the person or not, whether the person is a good human being or not. We show up for that black man. Here
Yep.
is a black woman who has all the things that we think a good person should have. So now what's the problem?
Hmm.
Should be no problem. You should be going to your church, your mosque, wherever you pray, the backyard, or wherever you hang out at, the coffee shop, and that should be a topic of conversation. Like we got to
And
show up
this is
for
a
this.
challenge. And this is a personal challenge to all my red, black, and green people. That's always talking about justice for black people and melanated people. I would love for y'all to stand up in solidarity with Dr. Flo.
Hello, talk about it,
All
sister.
of those that teach all this black power and uplift the black race and black, I would love to see y'all show up in solidarity and support of Dr. Flo. Because this is one of those revolutionary fights you need to be a part of.
That's
Not
right.
just your lip service, not just playing around with all the unk rings and all the beads and jewelry on, looking like X Clan from '88, but really showing up to support
That's
this
real
sister.
talk, Sissy. Yes,
Tasha
sister,
said,
this
"I'm
is
calling
one.
on all organiz-
Sorry.
Tasha said, I'm calling on all organizers that I see that I know how to organize for this. If we can do it daily for work, we can do it for her." Say that, Tasha.
That's right.
Say
And
that.
I believe she supports unions and all that stuff. Like, there, that's what I'm saying. Again, here we are. I mean, I may be a little emotional because I love Dr. Flo, but I also know her track record.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when they can't get you, she ain't got no molestation. She ain't got none of that shit on her because that ain't who she is. So
So,
now they got to look at the money.
and
Y'all
when
gonna
have y'all
find
ever heard
something.
somebody, and be honest, y'all, seriously, there's somebody been caught out for raising too much money? Come on. Come on. Don't you need money? They didn't think she was going to probably be able to raise enough money to run a good campaign.
That's what I
That's
think,
what the fuck
Khadijah.
they thought. And then they like, wow, she really got, hold on, we got to think of something. This is too much. Like, they just make up shit for us, y'all. They
They
make up
do.
rules to exclude us on purpose.
They can make
And
up
usually
shit, but
sometimes we just sit and be quiet. Yeah, we just sit and be quiet,
we
but this is
gonna
not
be
a time to be quiet.
we gonna be right there on their heads. They could think of
Mm-hmm.
back in '92, she stubbed her toe on the library book and didn't turn it back in. I don't. They come up with whatever. We still gonna be
Oh
like,
God.
no, she's gonna get that fair
This
chance that we say is great. And yes, the flyers
Kavicha,
on my
I have,
page. Go ahead.
yeah, and I'll put it on my page. They just don't want her to win, but that's okay. We can show them better. Hey, my mom used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you. That's the
Yeah,
real statement.
right
Now
on.
I know what that really means as an adult. But
I
Tasha,
want,
you right.
uh, huh?
I said Tasha's absolutely right.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to say this: your friends who hate the Republican Party, get all of them to go show for Dr. Flo. I think she's a Democrat. See, this. Let me tell you something I learned some years ago. I don't know who was with me, but I got invited to all this Democrat stuff. There was a black woman running for it to be the head of the Democratic Party for California. Can I remember the sister's name? She was absolutely, first of all, she was smart as hell, but she was absolutely gorgeous, stunning, tall, statuesque black woman. You know they didn't give it to her. I asked
Mm-hmm.
myself, y'all want me to help y'all with this shit, and they don't even see y'all as human. Like they don't even see the girl was the woman, excuse me, was so qualified to be the representative
Overqualified,
of
probably.
the Democratic Party for California, but they gave it to some white boy who didn't have any of the experience. She had been volunteering and doing stuff for them for ages, and I thought, look at this bullshit. So I'm gonna need all the Democrats, especially, and Republicans who do right to come in, baby, to come and support Dr. Flo.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all really for equality and America's the great melting pot, yeah, melt your ass on to with us down to this city hall and make a statement and put it on your Facebook page and have those hard discussions with your family. Because this is somebody that all of us can get with.
Mm-hmm.
The woman don't have not one
Absolutely.
pure hate bone in her body. I've seen her show compassion to people I would have been like wanting to knock their ass out. And she right there showing compassion. Like that's a little that's a special kind of person to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. So Khadijah, I think
I
we
agree.
shared enough information. I'm gonna put Dr. Flo picture back up here real quick, and we're gonna wrap it up. Do you hear my baby out here?
No, I heard you tell him to come in.
Yeah, he just got home, so he's trying to see what I'm doing. So I'm about to get right back to my baby. So hold on, y'all. I'm trying to share this.
Put your glasses back on.
I know, but I was trying to do it without the glasses, Khadijah.
Oh, you like this in the camera.
I know, right? I'm all like this. I'm a hot mess. I'm
Just
like,
playing.
I know, hot mess. Wait a minute, I think I done took her thing down. I sure did. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get it back up. Give me just a minute.
Tasha says we need someone to help turn California around. It is out of control right now. Yes, it is.
There we go. Oh,
Yes, it is.
it's been out of control now. But now it's so out of control. And you know how first you smell the shit coming, but you don't know somebody shitting in the other room, and then you wake up and the shit you be standing in front of the shit. Right now we are standing in the
Oh,
shit
this
because
fool.
it's been stinking for a minute. See, I don't know
This
about y'all.
damn
I
blogger.
think back to the
Your
opportunities that my
metaphor is
mama didn't
crackhead.
have because we was in a racist ass state. You know what I mean? So I don't just go by the way things are right now.
And
I look at it through a history
and this
lens.
just proves that we think times have changed because we are in some rooms we were otherwise not allowed in. They don't give a fuck about you being in the room. You just can never facilitate the room. You just could never be the person to organize. And that's where we are with Dr. Flo. She's overly qualified for this position. And the fact that she's a heavily melanated, do she have locks as well in her hair?
Yes.
She's a heavily melanated, very educated, highly educated sister with locks. Y'all think they don't even want that image as a mayor. Now, come on, let's keep it real. I'm sure if she looked like, had dog hair, y'all know how I feel about that animal hair, and she looked a certain way, she wouldn't be, they would probably let her run and not fuck with her. May not let her win, but she'd be able to run and they not bother her. Tasha said, can you please do a recap? More folks have joined.
Okay, recap it, Khadijah.
So Dr. Flo is running for mayor, and the good old boys are trying to make her not run, saying that she raised too much money in a short period of time, and they're trying to bully her into dropping out of the mayoral campaign.
Because she's doing good.
So so we need to stand behind her, and they have three things that they were asking people to do.
Mm-hmm.
One was to publicly, state that you support her, you stand in support of her. That was one thing. The second thing was to hold on, I'm going to my page, y'all.
It says to make reoccurring donations to her campaign. It's costly. It's a costly penny to effectively challenge the narrative of the political landscape we are all deserving of.
And
Right.
also, it says to share and tag, especially with those who are usual suspects playing on the political playground with our lives. So if you have people that work in City Hall or work downtown or work all these meetings at all the city council meetings and all that kind of stuff, tag them. And you see people that's at the Capitol once a week for their weekly protests about speed bumps or some shit or whatever. Black people, depends on they like to go to the Capitol at least once a month to protest something. This should be one of those times you go down there to protest. This would be tag all those people down there that you guys would be organizing to come shut down the Capitol and the Golden One Center and block freeways.
I think this is the perfect time to go to the city hall meeting, city council meeting, and shut that shit down. I just feel like you show up where people who are in the so-called positions of power can hear your concern. And we did it when, back when, people thought that was necessary. But this is something that really will shape not just our lives as adults, but I'm going to say this, our daughters, young women, like we want them to say, we tell them, we give them bullshit lines. Like you could be anything you want to be, but who going to be out there fighting to make sure they can be anything they want to be? Who is going to be out there to make sure that happens for them? Act like they're your son and a son who wants to be a lamppost, and you're going to fight like hell to make sure he could be the best goddamn lamppost. Well, you show up like that for Dr. Flo. And Khadijah, we laughing about the shit, but I'm not lying.
No, a lot of this.
I feel like if there are black men out there,
Keon said, easy enough for all of us to do. It is, Keon. I agree.
Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. Yes,
she's not asking for a whole lot from us.
No.
She's really not.
No, because if she got mad, all y'all be down there asking for some shit.
And half of us are on social media 2 to 3 hours a day. So if you could speak up on her or tag something to do with that, we on social media anyway.
Yeah. I think we just this should be like the issue of our time for Sacramento. If you're in Sacramento, if you're a black human being in Sacramento, if you're any human being, but I got to speak to our community. Let me just say this.
Absolutely.
If somebody's going to speak Spanish, I say go speak to the Hispanic community or Latino or Chicano community. Go speak to them. Because when we get into things, we are more balanced than every other group. We're going to make sure everybody, we don't just take care of our own if we do that, but we take care of everybody. So you don't get no fair person.
And that's why everybody, when they move to it, and that's why they always move to black neighborhoods, because they know we're going to engulf you with love and we're going to stand behind you. We're going to make you one of ours.
Right on. So I'm saying stand with Dr. Flo. My thing is, you don't have to like her or like I'm voting for her. No, as a human being, that's the right. We tell all the immigrants when they get to America, this is the land of opportunity. Well, let's make sure she has the opportunity to run for mayor and be mayor if that's what she wants to do. That's the bullshit. That's that true systematic racism where this man popped his little ugly ass head up to big up the white supremacy like we was going to sit there and let the motherfucker do it. And I'm calling him a motherfucker. Because he fucking somebody's mother with his nasty ass self. How dare you come for her? Why would you come for her? Out of all goddamn people. There's people in this town that has molested people and we still support these motherfuckers. There's people in here who doing a good old boy thing with their homeboys and then get mad because black women don't want to fuck with their ass. And we'll support that. Well, let's do something righteous for once in your life. Stand on the side of right. You know this is the right thing to do to correct the wrong. I'm gonna put it to you like this:
That's
act
only
like you.
if people really are for the right, really want to live, really want to support what's right. Because a lot of people out here don't really want to support what's right.
Well, I
They
ain't
want to
talking to
support
them.
what's right now to get their funding. So yeah, you
Yeah,
got to be
I ain't
specific.
talking to them,
Because
Khadijah.
people, you know,
They're not under the sound of my voice. I don't even fuck with niggas like that. Crystal says, "Hey Shanda, please send me the flyer. I will send it out."
already inboxed her
Oh,
one.
you did? Okay, Khadijah already got you. I'm
Yep.
sorry, girl. I'm putting the glasses on, and
And
she'll
I'm about
post
to,
it.
yep, I
Sorry.
got you.
And then, I love when Tasha be
Check
on
your
here.
inbox, Shanda.
Where's the piece at? Tell them to come on the. She's
What
talking
did
about
it
brother
say?
Peace. Where is
Oh,
Peace at? Where's the
y'all don't
Peace
start
at?
with that man tonight. Don't y'all start with that man
Look here.
tonight.
He gonna say she's indigenous. Wrong conversation for the wrong time. We are trying to get
Yeah,
somebody to their opportunity. We have 1,000 nonprofits in Sacramento whose job it is to give out resources. How do Black people get to be in a seat of power if people keep blocking them on bullshit? You know,
real
like
talk.
she should have the opportunity to run a campaign without them trying to bleed her dry, because she must have raised a lot of money. Because this fool
Got
popped up
their ass
out of
scared.
nowhere, and I'm curious to
Got
know
their
who's
ass
backing
scared.
him, because I think we should attack all these motherfuckers. That's just me. That's just
Hopefully, I'll
me.
have that information by Sunday,
Yeah,
because
me and you both.
people
Me and
are
you
working
both.
on it. So hopefully, we will have that by Sunday.
Yeah.
Because he
So
put his face and everything. I mean, he put his name out there and say he's backed by different corporations and all that. So we need to find out who the hell they are.
yeah, and shut they ass down.
Tasha says tag young girls who are first time voters to educate them also.
Yes.
That's right.
And I'm saying tag
Everybody.
anybody that's using social services resources. If you're going to a nonprofit, this ain't just for the people. Everybody, if you're getting public assistance, if you going to school right now and you can't work, or you know what I mean, everybody has to be in this fight. It just can't be the educated in the same cast of characters that show up to everything. And no, there's a whole community out here. Let me just say this: in the Latino community, when you drop the word out, it ain't just the middle class,
Everybody.
bougie Black Latinos coming. It's the ones that's out there in front of Home Depot who ain't even registered to vote, who are out there in the numbers.
It's the stay at home moms with their
right.
babies in the stroller.
So
It's
we
the
got to talk to
abuelas out
everybody.
there. Life.
Everybody. The brother who playing the video game, like, look, fool, you ain't going to be on the game from this time to this time because we got a press conference. And your ass is going to be there. Yep. Everybody has to be in this fight. It cannot be the same people pushing things through. And people depend on you to be on the sidelines. People come to America and bank on your lazy ass so that they can come make the money in your community and then go move to El Dorado Hills.
Yep.
We could change this narrative, family. We could change it. Well, all we need is your body to show up wherever we tell you to show up. True story, and I'm done. I knew an elder in LA. She's an ancestor named Ms. Lillian Mobley. This woman she's an elder when I met her. I remember she said that, well, they were showing us the story of how they were going to do something because she's in LA. They were going to do something. I can't remember. It was bad for the community. They said this woman stayed up all night calling everybody and their mama to call everybody and their mama. And the next day when they went to protest or boycott or whatever, City Hall, they said it was Black folks for the, you couldn't even see where it stopped.
As far as
That's an elder who come from the time where they had to fight everybody. Like, she from Georgia somewhere. So she was like, you ain't never seen the days I see, but I fight so you wouldn't have to see the days I've seen.
That part.
So it's like, no, we got to do this, family. Think about your daughters who's going off to college and when they want to come back and get a job. You know how powerful that would be for them to look at City Hall and see Dr. Flo as the mayor?
That part.
Shit. All right.
Real life.
So, family.
Real life.
I'm off the soapbox. Khadijah, any closing words? Love you, Dr. Flo. I'm going to support you. You've always been such a good supporter. You've just been awesome. Every time I asked you to come to speak to young people, she was right there breaking down all the things I asked her to do as Dr. Flo, and never had airs. She was approachable. She spoke to young people. See, she ain't do all that. She's Dr. Flo, but she don't act around like I'm Dr. Flo. She doesn't do that. She's very approachable. And she reminds me
Mhm.
of my niece. When I first seen her, I said she looked like Cam, but that's just me.
Right. My closing remarks is y'all just try to do one of those three things. If you can't do all three, although it's not hard to do, pick one and do it every day. You
That's
know,
right.
and that's stand in support of this sis. She really needs our backup and our support. And I say the same way we rally behind bullshit, we either rally behind somebody that's trying to do some great things here that we really need to do some great things. Um, and you know, she could have just went on about her merry little life. She's a doctor. She don't have to run for shit. She could just went on ahead and made her coin and got on. Straight up. So just her running for office, you know, she didn't have to do that. That just tells you that she's dedicated to making a change. So we got to be dedicated to helping her make that change, and we got to be there in support of her.
So
Tasha says she doesn't have to display her credentials to prove her strength and power.
that's real talk.
Exactly.
That's real talk.
Cause she's
And
comfortable.
brother,
Y'all usually niggas that ain't comfortable in their skin. Even with a doctorate, they still ain't comfortable. Dr. Folks, she's very comfortable in her
yes, she
skin and
is.
comfortable in who she is.
Brother Keon's on here. Glad to hear. Brother Keon, there's a challenge on here to black men that said they're looking for 13 black men to stand up and publicly support Dr. Flo. And I'm gonna make a few calls to at least 5 brothers that I'm really tight with to see if I can get them to stand up for her publicly about her being treated like this because she's running for mayor.
Bully. Her
Because they're
being
basically
bullied and
trying to
under
bully her.
attack.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. She's
And since it's a
she's
white
under
man
attack
that's
and they're
trying to
trying to
challenge the
bully her.
black woman, this is where the black man stepping in, honestly.
Straight up.
But he kind of feel like y'all won't do it. Because historically, that hasn't always been the case for some people.
Mhm.
Think about it. But anyway. All right, Khadijah. I think that's all the comments. Love y'all. Share this video.
Thank y'all for
Sunday, we're
tuning
gonna
in
follow
on
up with
this.
this.
Thank y'all for tuning in on this red alert. A special alert on this Tuesday evening. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, it's on my page, it's on Rolanda's page. I'm inboxed a few of y'all already on here. I got you, Tasha. I'll send it to you. Um, Listen, Keon said he don't know why it's a challenge. It's a challenge because niggas don't do nothing, Keon. Black
Yeah.
people will sit and see one of us getting lynched and will fucking take out our
And
cell phone and
videotape
record
it.
it and then go and then talk about it. So that's why it's a challenge. Because some people, some men, some black people don't have a heart like you and I and other people that don't have a problem stepping up. Some people have to. You got to be. That's why everybody's doing this fucking hot chip challenge. People they show up when they think it's a challenge. Then some people don't just show up when it's just the right thing to do. So they have to put it
And
into a challenge
that's right.
format.
You said it's so cute. I mean, you said it's so great. And that's on the page at the challenge on the Keon. But the other part, Keon, is that let's be honest. We know we are struggling in this city with black men and black women's relationships, and when it comes to power, we don't even have enough common sense to meet with each other behind closed doors to talk the shit out and come up with a mutual understanding. That's why
Mhm.
sometimes when you call out people's names, and you my brother, but I'm just saying, if I called out certain people, these motherfuckers would be crying and calling me in the back. Why would you bust me out? Because nigga, you needed to be busted
Uh,
out. And I'm
I've
saying,
got a
and
few of
this
them
city,
calls.
if we're gonna talk about doing shit to help black people, why don't you just talk to the goddamn black people? Talk to the black people. I think we know we have a bunch of powerful black men in this city. I don't know where they really sit down. I can't get them all together to ask them 2 questions together. Because half y'all motherfuckers ain't really talking to each other. Y'all don't like each other. Y'all, you envious as shit. You know how hard it is to try to organize, man? When you got to deal with everybody's ego and shit? Not all, but I'm just saying. So power comes when we can be really honest. Like historically, let's talk about it. We had Dr. King and Malcolm X. They met like maybe 3 times in their whole lifetime. Real powerful people don't meet 3 times in their whole lifetime. When you see Europe dividing up Africa, you think they do that shit because they meet 3 times in a lifetime? These
Shit.
motherfuckers is meeting
Hell
every
no.
30 days or some shit, or every 60 days, whatever it is. They doing summits right now in the world trying to pull shit
They in
together.
constant contact to pull their shit
Yes.
off.
So
Mm-hmm.
we got to do a better job. That's what I'm saying. And it's not down talking. And let me tell you something. The white man already know that we not together because he get to see how the fuck we roll. The whole
Well, we know
world sees
that's
how we
why he's
roll.
attacking her. If
Yeah,
he thought
because he
she
know you're
had
not gonna
backup
do
and power
shit.
numbers, he wouldn't be bothering her.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, family. Like, we got to do better. That's all I'm saying. Salute,
Tasha says we
sis.
don't even believe we have it, which is even worse. If it isn't a good example of how they try to stop it, I don't know what it is. Keon said, "Ooh, I can dig it." Keon,
You
you
know
sound
what I'm
like
talking about, Kid. I'm
1968.
not just trying to. I'm not trying. You should know what the fuck I'm talking about. There was
Oh
look.
yeah,
I
Keon
know
know.
gangbangers who meet more than 3 times in a lifetime. These fools meet like damn near every other day. No matter what their agenda is, they know they got to meet with people to push the agenda down. Even they got certain
Tasha,
alley oops up in the air.
Tasha
Sorry,
said, and
sis.
some black men are intimidated by black women. We need more black men to suffice showing their love and loyalty to black women. It's very
Yeah.
true. That's why she getting fucked with. Y'all think I'm playing. It's the black community, but they know that's why it's very important for black men to stand up.
Yeah.
Telling y'all. They
Woo.
know black women. We could, we're gonna gather. That's what we do.
That's right.
The big mamas and women have been holding community together for years. Not that, but some black men have not assisted, but they know we're gonna show the hell up. So, but we need the black men to show up
Yeah.
and
And,
speak
and,
up.
and yeah, and they should be doing it like it's a no brainer. Honestly, that's like when that man threw that hat up in the air and everybody came running. This is a hat up in the air right now.
Hmm.
This is a hat up in the air with no cameras watching. That's why we trying to
Hmm.
bring it to y'all ears. Like, pay attention, because if they come for her, what's the saying? If they come for you in the night, they'd be looking for me in the morning. Y'all better quit bullshitting. All right,
Yeah,
family, gotta go.
straight
Khadijah,
up.
salute. Dr. Flo, we got your back.
One more thing, y'all. Just don't forget about them three challenges, y'all. I'm gonna keep
Yes,
reiterating that because we need that to start immediately.
yes,
Immediately when you get off of here, share those flyers. Go donate to Dr. Flo's cause. We figure out. I don't know if they have something on there, but we gotta step up to this challenge because Dr. Flo need us. And like I said, she didn't have to run for mayor. She could have went on about her merry little way,
yep,
and been Dr. Flo and living a peaceful life and not dealing with nothing, not being a target or under attack. She could just want to live her life. So, hey, CJ. So yeah, we got to be in support of Dr. Flo. And for little babies like this, he's going to grow up one day. And do we want the world to continue to be this way for him? I know I don't. So, like Lana said, if you have a wife, you have a daughter, you have a niece, everybody has a woman in their family. If you're a black person, you all do. Christy said, "Thank you for doing this, and hope to see everyone at the 916 Flow Fest.
yes. We shared that.
www.flowformayor.com, y'all.
Thank
Check
you
it
for
out.
that.
www um dot flowformayor.com. So let's get them numbers going, Tasha. Let's grow it up,
And
y'all,
Christy, we
and
need to
share this
talk with
live.
you. Yeah, because we want to try to get hear from Dr. Flo or something. Like, I just feel like we got to sound all alarms. Like, they got to be going off like bells in a
And
fire.
I challenge every black podcaster in Sacramento and every black podcaster period to bring Dr. Flo on so she can get so people can hear her voice. I challenge
Yeah.
everybody to bring her on so people can hear her voice because white people use media quite often to spin the narrative. So we need to give her the same opportunity because we know they're not going to give it to her for her to be able to say what she has to say. So, like I said, www.flowformayor.com. So, y'all, let's do it. Thank y'all for tuning in on this Tuesday night. Y'all be safe and be great and have a peaceful and blessed week.
All
I
right,
holla.
cool. I hollers.
Hey, CJ.